Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Reapiron, and today we're going to be doing another Killing Floor 2 video. This is going to be another HRG versus the original, or using the original in conjunction with the HRG weapon. This time we're going to be using both the railguns. So the regular railgun that Sharpshooter has access to, which is a very powerful single-shot weapon, and the HRG Insertion, which is another powerful single-shot weapon available to Medic. I'm going to be using this with Survivalist because I do have the weight. And that's really the only reason why. Otherwise, I'd be trying this with Medic, or potentially with Sharpshooter and seeing how it goes. But for this, I can only use Survivalist. I'm going to be doing 4 rounds Hell on Earth at the Ashwood Asylum, going through and trying this. For this, I'm using the Heavy Weapons Training, Medic Training, Weapon Harness, and what was the other one? Spontaneous Explosion. So we got to get through the first couple waves, and then we can buy at least one of these guns. This is going to be rather interesting because both of the railguns need range to work. That's why I picked this map, because this map has a decent amount of range. Other maps that would also work would be like Nuked or Infernal Realm, or if you were on the outside of Farmhouse. At least we started out with a pretty strong early weapon with the MP, or the MP7 from SWAT. This is probably one of the strongest early game weapons, as it does do a lot of damage towards small enemies. It's fully automatic. It's got this nice little red dot to it. And you actually don't really even need the increased reload speed because this reloads fast enough as is. Now, I do have kind of a problem. Both these are 1500 dosh, and we do not have 1500 dosh after the first wave. So, I'm going to have to get me another weapon and use that. So I'll just buy me another MP7. I won't bother buying ammo, I won't bother buying armor, and we'll just use this.
Last chance.
This is partially the reason why I didn't pick a longer round, because I knew we'd need a lot of money. We need 3,000 dosh in total just to get our loadout. And that's a decent amount of cash. We could have potentially done this if we were doing a custom map and got it just wave 2 at least one of them by finding extra weapons, or we could have gotten lucky on our first wave and found some extra weapons to run around with, but we didn't get that, so... Oh, we did find some body armor though. Alright, so now that I have enough cash, I'm going to buy the Insertion first, and I think I'm just going to max out my everything that I got. I'm not going to buy the railgun right away, just because I might need the extra armor, and I might need the Molotovs for this next round. I picked the Insertion over the railgun simply because I can have infinite ammo with this weapon, with its secondary fire. That will kill small things quick enough, I hope. And if I run out of shots, which is a real possibility, I will at least have some extra ammo, or at least some way of killing them rather than just using my pistol. The secondary fire of this heals teammates and can punch through multiple enemies. It also does do damage to Zeds, like a sizable amount of damage. And you do have essentially infinite of it. You should probably be using this to hurt, or to heal allies more than hurt enemies. Luckily, even on Hell on Earth, we can go for body shots with this. Headshots are going to be preferred against large enemies, but body shots will work just fine on small enemies. Headshots will work with the healing darts, though. There we go. Get the Fleshbound dead. Luckily, we do have medic training, so we can heal ourselves up fairly fast. Whoops. And we can knock away anything that's in our way. Hang on. We do have to wait for the recharge, though. At least to kill crawlers and such. I believe that this can also poison a Scrake pretty well. If not, we can knock him off guard. Yeah, not as powerful as the railgun, but it's not too surprising. There's not a whole lot of weapons that can boast to be as powerful as the railgun. It does feel kind of weird wanting to aim for headshots against small guys, though, with the railgun. Since usually you don't care. Even on 6-man Hell on Earth, you can do enough damage to kill him with just one shot. Alright. Well, the insertion worked just fine. Not too surprising. It is a pretty good weapon. It's a weapon that a lot of medics really enjoy using, and if you're very good with it, then it can be just as good for healing as a lot of other weapons, potentially even better. It's not a weapon I play a whole ton on medic, though, even though it is pretty good. It does require a decent amount of accuracy and prediction, because your teammates can be running all around, panicking if they're getting low on health. And it can be kind of hard to line up those shots. Alright, so we got the Railgun, bought ammo for both. The Railgun is the stronger option of the two. Turn off the target fire on it, because the target, for anybody that's not aware, the targeting fire does automatically aim for headshots, but you do half the amount of damage. This combination probably wouldn't be a great choice overall, because it really lacks against small enemies. You'd probably want to combine this with something more practical for fighting small enemies with. It is pretty nice to be able to punch through quarter pounds like that, though. And if you can get long lines of sight like this, you can kill quite a bit of enemies with it. Just gonna try to be hitting as many targets as I can. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I guess I'll just use the railgun against everything big. Like all the flesh pounds are sending my way. Man, they are sending a lot my way. There we go. Oh. And we are out. Alright. Now with the railgun, we gotta use our insertion then. Which we do not reload as fast because this does not count as a sharpshooter, gunslinger, or no, it's a sharpshooter, demo, or support weapon.
This might sting.
So, this is kind of a interesting problem you might have with this. If you run out of bullets with one weapon, then you're stuck with the other weapon. I mean, technically you're never going to be running out of shots with the insertion because the secondary fire, but if you run out of shots with your railgun, which is very possible, like you've seen if there's a lot of just big stuff that they keep throwing at you, you may just end up resorting to one railgun, and that's not the best secondary weapon in the world. You can't upgrade these both once, which I probably will, because we're doing it for this. If I was going to use these regularly, probably not. I'd probably just keep them as is, and then buy a medic SMG. That way I have another weapon to be using against small things. I can actually kill crawlers, stalkers, clots much better than what I'm currently doing. Because this isn't super practical to run around and gun with, as you can kind of see. And I did manage to get some ammo, so we got a few railgun rounds. Alright. And there we go. So now we're on to boss wave. Boss wave could be quite difficult, depending on who we get. Most bosses are weak to both the railguns, so it probably won't be that hard. I don't know if I'll be able to kill the Patriarch fast enough with these, though. Potentially if I get the EMP effect on him and then can hammer him with the regular railgun. This won't be way great against the Matriarch once she starts summoning robots, because I'll be able to kill them easy, but it's going to take a lot of ammo. Hans, this shouldn't be too bad. King Fleshbound should be not that bad, and same with Abomination shouldn't be that bad either. Hans, alright. Let's see what we can do against Hans. Hans has a small head, so he's hardest to hit in the head out of the bosses, but he does not like Molotovs, which is an advantage with this loadout. He frequently tries to get away from them. I think he's
Can't see
upstairs.
the Zed.
Nope, he's downstairs.
Just like in Stalingrad, fools!
Fortunately, we do have really long lines of sight here, so we can just
Fools!
hit him in the head with the railgun from here.
Careful! Grenades!
Guns and gas! I really have to waste gas on you, vermin?
It's shooting at me!
I grow tired of this game.
He shouldn't really
Where did
like
you
the
go?
insertion all that much either.
Not so chemical romance.
Nope.
I'll
We do get
drain
stabbed
your
by him, which
soul.
I kind of expect to happen.
Let's see how brave. Really? You are making me
But
step
yeah,
up the
use
gas
Molotovs on
again?
Hans whenever he's not walking, because you will do a good amount of damage to him. He is afraid of fire. He does not like it.
The big bad warrior, scared of an old man. Submit to me.
These things getting bigger?
Ugh. Enough of these little attacks. Here is something
Oh, Hans,
Easy as
you coward.
I've stomped bigger into bits.
I have
Ah. Alright. Drained health again. That's not a huge deal, though, since we have medic training.
You swine are not
big
dead
boy.
yet. Why not?
You gotta stay away from his bombs, though. Throwing Molotovs and choke points like this, too, makes Hans walk through them. So if he wants to come and get you, he can't do it easily. And yeah, this wasn't too hard to beat Hans with this. This setup is actually probably best against him or the King Fleshpound. It would also work just fine against the Abomination. Matriarch and Patriarch is where it would be the weakest, simply because Patriarch is likely going to be able to run away. Maybe not so in multiplayer, but in solo he probably can. I don't think I could do enough damage to him before he could run away and keep coming back, and then he has a chance to blow me up with rockets. Matriarch is probably the hardest, simply because all the robots are pretty strong. Even though, yeah, I can potentially kill him quickly with my guns, I can run out of ammo the fastest against her. So in conclusion, I probably wouldn't use it, because you could have kind of better options. If you wanted higher damage, you could just go with like medic weapons and a rocket launcher. You don't need to worry about the reload speed. You could also go with the Railgun and then something like the AA-12 and have a really solid all-around loadout. If you want to use the weapon harness, you can and make use of it this way, but it's not one of the best loadouts, I would say. It's decent because it does do such a really high amount of single target damage, so if you're only interested in killing Fleshpounds and Skrakes and hurting the boss, it might be okay to go for, especially on a large map. On smaller maps, like if you're playing this on like Catacombs or something, it's going to be much more difficult to move around. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to do. We'll be checking out another HRG weapon combined with the original weapon real soon. If you guys are new here, be sure that you're subscribed. That way you get notifications whenever I post any of these videos, and I will talk to all of you guys next time. Till then, stay cool and bye.